Christine Michelle, and we are here with Quantum Queen TV. Today, we are going to talk about the desire game. So, if you're here watching, let me know in the comments so that I can say hello to you, and then we can get into the details of what desire truly means and what it means when we don't allow ourselves to truly want what we want. You guys, you're going to get it. You're going to be like, oh my goodness, I think I'm doing that. And we're going to go into detail about what I've done to help shift that because I want to know how many of you have tell me what you desire. I just want to see what you're going to put in the comments. Like, what if I say, what do you desire? What's one of your deepest desires? What are you going to say? Give me that. And then what while you're writing some of your deepest desires, I'm going to talk to you about desire and what it means and how cool it is and how it's important for you to really own up to what you really, really, really want. All right. So y'all picking up what I'm putting down. We're gonna have some fun. All right. So let's talk about desire. What does the word desire mean? All right. The word desire means a strong wanting, feeling, or wishing for something. Okay. And a lot of times we desire things because other people told us that's what we're supposed to want, or we feel ashamed about our desires. Right. I'm going to tell you guys a story about something that I experienced recently that made me realize that I was feeling ashamed about what I really wanted. And so let's see what some of it say. Okay. Oh, Carrie Ann says she wants a true love partnership. Lauren wants $10,000 months through her UGC. Carrie Ann also wants freedom. I love that. I love that. These are some core desires, things that we get to be proud of ourselves to want. And what if you knew that every desire, everything that you're desiring is a gift from God? If you knew that your desires were a gift from God within you and all around you, what would you do? Oftentimes, we don't truly express what we desire, especially as women. And that goes back to the witch wound. It goes back to that core wound of us being ridiculed, told that we were crazy, or made wrong for wanting what we wanted, or for being intelligent women. We were destroyed. We were cast aside. You were put in insane asylums because we were intelligent. And it wasn't allowed for a woman to have true desires. Did you guys know that back in the day, right? Back in the Middle Ages and probably before that, it was said that women didn't enjoy sex. They weren't supposed to. They weren't supposed to desire it. And if they desired it, that made them wrong, that made them ungodly, that made them evil, that made them a witch. If they wanted to have sex or they wanted sex to feel good or something like that, that was wrong. Do you see how desires have been pit against women, not to want them, not to want things, right? And then if you want more things, what happens in this day and age? She's a gold digger. She's so selfish. Who is she to want that, right? You get asked, who am I to want that? There's so many other people who don't have this. So why do I want this? Why am I somebody who deserves this? I got asked that question the other day by a client who's doing so well. And she was like, is it okay that I want more? Of course. Yes. It's your divine right. It's your divine right. If you don't go for it, then who will? If it's not you, then who? Let's see. Carrie Ann says financial abundance as with a few hours of working, as few hours working as possible. And then she also says it would feel less selfish if I don't consciously feel selfish. I would feel more to be more realistic. That's true. We're taught to be realistic about our desires. Who are we to want that? I'm going to write a post today and it's about, stop saying you want world peace when you really just want a Prada bag. And it's just to poke fun at it because I know that we get to have world peace and the Prada bag. That's the way I teach it. We get to have both. I'm poking fun at it because you feel bad because you want the Prada bag. Or you're selfish. You feel bad because you want the S Tesla and not the three or something like that. You feel bad because you want the beautiful home and all those things. And unless you say you want it for your kids or for someone else, and if it's just for you, then you feel bad. This is one of the reasons why it's hard for you to receive what you want because you vilified yourself for wanting anything. One of the things that gets vilified the most is what? Fame, being known. I mean, how often do people say, oh, the Kardashians, they're just known for being known. They're fame whores. They're this, they're that. You know, it's bad for them to be known. It's bad for the people to know them and want them and see them and get excited about them or something like that is bad, even when they do a lot of good in the world. You get the same thing for Taylor Swift. Oh, she's a fame whore. Beyonce, fame whore. But do we say that about anyone else? Do we say Elon Musk is a fame whore? Have you ever heard that before? Has anyone ever said that about Kanye, fame whore? No. Have you ever thought about why fame is okay for men, but it's not okay for women? The influencer job. I love that. Lauren just said, yes, I saw micro influencer post getting all this hate on her looks, and all the comments started saying that she was asking for it by being on the internet. Yeah, it's all the things to make you afraid of standing in your power and doing what you really want to do. And the way they do it is to shame you, talk badly about your looks, talk badly about who you are, make you feel bad. Oh, you're not a good mom. Why are you on the internet? Well, because you're making money, because you're doing a job, because you're taking care of your family. We try to make people wrong, and then we use shame, we use guilt, we use those type of feelings against you so that you don't want what you want. I'll give you a story. So recently, I in November, I joined a high level mastermind, and there is filled with 7 figure and 8 figure women, and they're amazing women. And we have these periodic masterminds where you, we have these periodic masterminds. And what happens is you get placed in, it's like 150 or 200 people in the mastermind. And then you go into small breakout groups, which are about probably 11 to 15 people. And each one of the people present, right? So I presented in the first mastermind, I presented the PEV method of how to tap into your identity. And I helped everybody tap into their identity. And everybody had amazing, amazing presentations. And they had to vote for the best of. And guess what? In November, it was December, in that mastermind, I won the best of in that group. And I was able to present to the bigger group of 200 women. And I was so excited. I was so full of joy. It activated me in ways that I just hadn't been activated before. I was like, wow, I get to be selected among my peers and people that are probably making 10x more than me that people saw value in me. And so I was really happy about that, right? Because that was just enough. It was good. So then recently in March, we had another mastermind type situation. And I was the leader of it. And so everybody went, and then I went last because I was just helping to facilitate, right? But I got to present as well. So I presented the slip space method for quantum leaping. And I got voted best of again. It wasn't joy this time. I felt so guilty. I felt so ashamed. I felt as if I stole something from someone else. I felt as if, who am I to win this? I felt horrible. And that was me receiving like more spotlight on me. People were looking at me. People, were really happy to vote for me. They voted for me for a reason, but I felt bad. And that's when I realized, I said, wow, I'm asking for fame. I'm asking to be seen. I'm asking to create impact on millions. And yet When someone calls me out for being brilliant again, it was too much. I was, who am I? Like, why would they do that? I'm taking it away from someone. Do you see how, like, that was a piece of me not even owning my desire to be seen and recognized? And I only gave myself permission to be seen in a little and not seen in the much. But the true desire, the reason why I felt so uncomfortable and I was crying is because my soul desired that. My soul desired to be seen. My soul desired to be recognized. My soul desired the frame, in that big piece, and to be in front of a group again. But I wasn't giving myself the permission to do it. Have you ever done that? Like, there's things that you desire and you are afraid to tell people you desire it. Why? 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 Because you're ashamed. What are people going to think? It could be small things like you want to buy your kids ice cream and you want to go to different places, but you right now don't have the means to it. And you would be so happy to be able to take the kids for ice cream every single weekend or something like that. And people would be like, well, why are you taking the kids for ice cream? Ice cream is not healthy, right? And you're scared to even say that. Maybe you like, I want to fly private. You guys know I always say I love private. When I was working in corporate with Victoria's Secret, we had our own plane and we would fly from New York to Columbus and Columbus to New York. We called it the shuttle. It was private. It was amazing. And so it was difficult. The times we had to fly regular, we were like, oh, I love private. I love it. I've had the experience of it. It is luxurious and it's gorgeous. So I see Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian, both of them have their own airplane and it's called Kim Air and then Kylie Air. And people are like Taylor Swift, she flies private because she needs to. She's traveling all the time. You need peace. But people are like, it's ruining the environment. It's horrible for the environment. It's bad, bad, bad. And I'm like, well, there's things that you can do, plant trees, do other things, right, to offset whatever, amount of whatever is going into the air. But because me being a spiritual leader and being a part of this thing, it would be embarrassing to tell people I want to fly private because I'm supposed to not want that. Like, who am I to want that? But the truth is, who am I not to honor my desires? Who am I not? So if you were to think about things that would embarrass you to tell people that this is what you want, what are they? Because those are the desires that you get to allow yourself to have. Those are the shadows that we get to integrate. Those are the things that will have you really tap into, you know what, my desires are divine and of God. Flying private is divine of God. Helping millions is divine and of God. Wanting to, buy a Prada bag or YSL or Hermes, I don't know, whatever, is a divine and of God. All of the things that I want to do that are in my heart are divine and of God, and I get to have them. And I don't have to justify it to anybody. That is power. Lauren says, so true. You're damned if you do and damned if you don't. It's almost calming to know that even people at your level go through the same feeling as us starting out, but the difference is you recognize it and respond to it. Exactly. Because even as did I tell? Okay, I'm in this group, and like I said, there's people that make eight figures, nine figures. They go through the same doubts. They launch something. Is somebody going to buy? They go through the same doubt. They just shift quicker. That's the only difference. And so we make ourselves so wrong for having these human moments. And what we don't make yourself wrong, just be like, oh, that's interesting. Okay, I thought there's a thought that thinks it won't happen. Okay, but I know it gets to. That's the difference. It's shifting quicker. Lauren also says the same people complaining about jets will be the same people making it difficult to get to their gate. Exactly. Exactly. And it doesn't have to be a private jet. It doesn't have to be, all of those other things. It can be anything. But what you get to do is not make yourself wrong for wanting what you want. How can your desires be wrong when they come from the divine energy that is you and within you and all around you? There's a version of you that has these desires already. And you've got to give yourself the opportunity in this 3D world to receive them. And so when we're talking about the desire of a true love partnership from Carrie, She gets to receive that. It gets to be the best, most amazing partnership she's ever had in her life. She gets to feel loved and loved on. She gets to feel most desired. And you can choose those feelings now. I have some clients and they're going through, conscious separations and they want to love partnership and they're really excited about it. And then they're like, can I want that? The divorce isn't like signed yet. Like, we haven't gotten to the papers yet. Is it bad for me to want that? And I'm like, no, you can want what you want, what you want, what you want, what you want it. The paperwork will take care of itself. All of that other stuff is going to take care of itself. Give yourself the space to want what you want because you want it. We put so many stipulations on us, especially as women, on whether or not we're going to allow ourselves to get it. The universe is actually beckoning you, putting a shot light on you. When you feel these desires, it is beckoning you for you to stand up and receive it. And when you remember that everything that you've asked for was created already in the quantum. And so it's spiritually, it's already done. You've asked, it's done. You've asked, it's done. What the time factor is for it to unfold in the 3D. That's it. And so who are you to tell yourself that you can't have the $1,000,000 you want? Who are you to tell yourself that you can't buy that bag? Or who are you to tell yourself that you can't want to be seen? What if you just want to be seen? You just want millions of people to do it. A lot of people who are creating these online businesses, and then they're like, oh, I'm not in it for the fame. I just want to create a coaching business. The truth is, no, you don't. There's a lot of other ways to make money online, other than being a coach in the face of a brand. There's a lot of other ways to help people other than being the face of an online brand. There's a piece of you that wants to be known. There's a piece of you that desires that. And when you do not allow yourself to let go of the shame of that, then you will not allow yourself to receive the money that you want to receive. This can go for UGC creator too. Like, you're a UGC creator. Your face is going to be used, your videos, what you're doing, what you're creating is going to be used for these other brands. And to say, I don't want anyone to know me, I don't want anyone to know who I am, is not true. It's not true. Get comfortable. Yes, get comfortable with what the ego wants. I have a course that's happening, and a lot of you are already in Quantum Queen, so you get it for free. It's going to be called From Shame to Fame. Right now, it's called the Desire Code as a working name. And you're going to be able to start to embrace your ego again, because as spiritual leaders and spiritual entrepreneurs, we've made the ego so wrong. So, for example, your client, Carrie, you work with health and fitness. You know, you work with health and fitness, and so it doesn't matter what age the person is. When it comes to health and fitness, some of the main core desires, of course, is going to be able to move and hang out with their kids and all of that stuff. But another core desire is they want to look good in their clothes. They want to look good. They want to feel desired. They want to look sexy. They may want to put on a bikini or a one piece or whatever, and they want to be able to strut their stuff. But when we don't put this in our content, then what are we not doing? We're not acknowledging the ego, the human desires that are behind that. And that's why we're here. We came here as spiritual beings. We're bigger, right? And we have an ego. It's not bad. It's just don't lead with that. But those are the desires. Those are some of the things that are the reasons why we want what we want. You want a loving relationship. It's not just to have a divine partnership. It's to be taken care of. It's to be hugged on and loved on at night and maybe in the morning too. It's to, have someone who's there to talk to and just have these deeper conversations with, who listens to you and supports you and cheers you on. Those are the egoic desires. And the reason why a lot of you aren't selling your wear or your product or your service the way you want to is because you aren't tapped into your own desires and you can't even write about theirs. because you think ego is here and spiritual is here. So because ego is bad, I don't want to acknowledge anything. Guess what? That girl wants to lose the weight because she wants to put the bikini on. I want to lose the weight because I want to wear a bikini and look very good. And I'm spiritual. Yet let your ego want what it wants. Don't make it wrong because we get to have it all. We get to want the bikini and we get to want to feel healthier than we've ever felt in our life. We get to want the bikini and we get to want connection and with guidance and with God and be able to connect to our inner God voice and be able to speak to all the things. We get to have it all. So Lauren says, I remember telling you how much I didn't want to show my face when I began. Exactly, but you have the most beautiful face, and that is what's going to sell or have people want you selling their product, have you want you, using your commercial or using your whatever you edited. They're going to want that because you're so gorgeous. Yes, you're buying from a trainer or you're doing Pilates, right? Because you want that version of yourself. Yes. And Carrie says, I love this. It gives permission to want everything in all the different areas. Exactly. And so what we get to do is what we're going to do in the from shame to fame. We're going to acknowledge the esoteric, the accepted desires. We need to acknowledge them because you get to have those too. But then we're going to say, what are the things you don't want nobody to know you want? And we're going to state them aloud. And you're going to say, yeah, I want that. I want that Hermes bag, or I want that Prada bag, or I want that vacation that's on the 7-star, resort where everybody just waits on me hand and foot. And there's I don't know a better word to say, but there's a butler and there's a maid and there's staff and there's people that take care of me. I want that. I want to fly private. I want my own jet. I want to be fun. And I desire it. I desire it. I desire it. It's going to be fun. I get to have it. I get to have it. I get to have it. And here's the thing, when you can get into, we're going to talk about experiences as well. Shame to fame. There are some experiences that you want to experience. And we're going to go into the Kim Kardashian effect, the Paris Hilton effect. We're going to talk about like some of these celebrities, Taylor and Beyonce. And we're going to talk in this desire code. We're going to talk about how their big fame, their big height, when they began to like really blow up, it all started from a moment that could have been shameful. And how you can take shame energy and alchemize it into fame. And what we're going to do is we don't need to have a shameful moment. We have things that we're holding ourselves back from because we feel shame about it. And we're going to take that shame and we're going to shift it. Because you're going to take pride. You're going to look at the ripple effect. You're going to be like, I'm going first. I'm the person that gets to go first. I'm the person that's going to have my desires. I'm the person that's going to guide everybody to know that my desires are divine and they're coming from the bigger part of me. And it is okay for me to want what I want because I want it just because I do. Just because I do. What is We're going to do one. If you can put it in the comments, what is something that you desire that you've never told anybody because you were scared to say it? What is something that you're like, ooh, I do want this, and this would be so, and it could be small, it could be so tiny, but you've never told anyone because you're like, I don't want anybody to know. Give voice to it, put it in the comments, let everybody know that you want that. Oh my God. I'll tell the story while I'm waiting for your responses. There was, I did this course and it was called Next Level Fab Manifesting. And the first round was right after I filed for bankruptcy, or right before I filed for bankruptcy. It was $97. We had like 30 or 40 people in it. It was just so fun. And one of the girls came in and she was like, I just had to, because they were riffing and they were just talking about what they wanted and what they desired. And so she said, oh, I just had the most beautiful morning. And she's like, I just had 5 orgasms this morning. And the most beautiful man in my bed next to me. And everybody was like, what? That is your reality? And she was like, yes. She's like, I manifested that because I decided that that's what I wanted. I told everybody that's what I wanted. And people were like, what? I want that in the morning. I want to wake up to that. And you see how, like, no one, because she voiced it and said that this is the way she was living her life and what she had expected. And this was the minimum requirement for her to get out of bed was 5 orgasms. It gave everybody permission to say, oh, I want that too. So do you see how sharing with each other what you really want, like these deeper core desires, it gives everybody permission to ask for what they want too. Yeah. So, you know, she said, yes. And Carrie says, let's put that all on our list now. You know, it can be tiny little things. It could be that you want have the most beautiful view like outside of your window, or that you want someone to just clean for you because you don't want to pick up a damn thing. You want somebody to stay in your house, wash your dishes, and do all the things that you're supposed to do as a woman. It could be this is one of the most quote unquote shameful desires that I've heard people be ashamed about. And I'm like, why are you ashamed? It could be a vacation without the kids, taking 2 to 3 days away from the kids. And there's so many women that are so ashamed to admit that that's what they want. And so they don't give it to themselves. They don't acknowledge it. They don't plan for it. They don't do it. And then they're sitting there exhausted. Another shameful desire, something that women have been made wrong for recently, wanting to work on the weekend. I have so many clients that are like, I want to get something done on the weekend, but I know I'm not supposed to work and it's not feminine or something. I'm like, girl, if you want to work and you feel alive and you're excited about what you're going to do, go do it. Have fun. Work on the weekend. Who cares? Do you, girl, do you. That's what we should name the shame to fame should be like, do you, boo? But do you see how like we care about what everyone else thinks, or we care about the optics of certain things that we stop ourselves from really doing what we want and having what we desire? And that's no more, no more, no more. So I'm so excited. If you are not a part of Quantum Queen, you want to get in it because shame to fame is included. And they also have a chat where we're going to be talking and they get to get coaching all the time on this because this is something that is continual. It's going to be 2 full weeks and you're going to want to ask questions. You're going to want to be in the vibe of fame, be in the vibe of I get to have whatever I want, whatever I wanted. Fame to you could mean something totally different than fame to me. So, like, fame to me is I want to impact millions. I want my brand to be on the lips of people all over the world. But fame for you could be like, I want to own my little corner of the internet. I want to help, 40 people every year be their healthiest selves. That could be yours. Fame could be, I want to be the go to UGC person where people are like, if you need a video about beauty, go to her. It doesn't have to be the way my fame looks, the way Taylor Swift fame looks, or Beyonce's fame. It doesn't have, there's different ways, but I'm using the word fame because it's the way that you get to allow yourself to be seen. And there's so much bad connotation to it that we get to take it back, take it back. So when somebody says, oh, she's just a fame whore, you get to say, thank you. So I say all this to say is that we get to own our desires. And I can't wait because July, you're going to be owning your desires. You're going to be owning what you want. You're going to be stating it to the world. You're going to allow yourselves to be the most fullest version of yourself that ever existed. And I am honored that I get to be the one to help you do that. So, on that note, I will be back, of course, next week with Quantum Queen TV. If you aren't on my YouTube channel, you need to follow me. This is also going to be a part of the podcast in the coming days. And so you'll be able to listen to it on my podcast, the Woo and the Do podcast, or you can just watch this replay, watch it over and over again, because you get this into your heart that it's okay to want what you want just because you want it. It's important for you to want what you want just because you want it. And that's how it's going to go. So I love you. I love all of you. And I'll see you later. Bye.